Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
Here we go. On this Monday evening, it is December 8th, 2025, 6 o'clock straight up. That means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the one and only Real Talk Memphis. Glad to have you with us, of course. I am your program host. My name is Chip Washington, and it is a pleasure to be in your company. I stole that from somebody, but that's okay because it's applicable nonetheless. Let me turn up my volume here. There we go. So I hope everybody's doing great today and this evening. It's a chilly night. It's cold outside. Temperatures in the 30s right now. Bryn and Lola walk in here like, I swear to God, like it's summer. I mean, they come in here, you know, and with no big coats and jackets. Is that Lola's coat behind you on the chair? She actually, okay, she hears me fussing. Yeah, that's it. She goes, brought a little coat in here today. Yeah, it's chilly. So if you have plans to go out this evening, not only buckle up, Buttercup, but also keep yourself warm. Put something on your big head. Make sure that you keep it warm as well. We're gonna be okay the next couple of 3 days. Temperatures in the low 50 tomorrow, in the 40s in the middle of the week. But when we get to the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to wish it was feeling more like, today or maybe tomorrow, because we're only going to see highs over the weekend in the 30s, low to mid. Those are the highs this weekend. So anyway, glad, as I said, to have you with us. We have a good show for you this evening. Everything is up and running. We're looking good on all stops out here. So that's a good way to start this thing out. In terms of the guest list, I'll give you that in a moment. But how can you get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? I know you asked that question, but I have the answer for you. Right now we're live, 91.7 on your FM dial. That would be WYXR. You can also find us on the WYXR app. And you can find us on the TuneIn app as well, live. We are live streaming tonight. Let me say that again. We are live streaming tonight. We didn't have it last week, but we have it tonight. On Facebook, of course. You can check it out there. And as we are a podcast, oh, by the way, I forgot one. In the next couple of days when the show is posted, you can find us on YouTube. And as a podcast, you will be able to find this show wherever it is you get your favorite podcast. We're on all platforms, so you have no excuse for that, okay? Good. In terms of the guest list, I think we have a pretty good one tonight. We hope you stick around for the hour. Leslie Taylor and Ron Walker from Memphis Crime Beat will be joining us. They've been on the show before and recently exposed some really eye-opening numbers, I guess, for a lot of folks in terms of the recidivism rate, or get locked up rate for us who speak common English. There are people in the system who have been in the system some 5, 6, 7, 8 times, been locked up and get back on the street and do whatever they were doing that got them locked up the first time and wind up back there again. We're going to talk about some of these statistics that the Memphis Crime Beat folks have found out. They're pretty eye-opening, and it explains a lot. And makes even more frustrating what is happening with this Memphis task force in terms of all of these arrests and everything else. So we'll talk to them about that in just a couple of minutes. A little bit later on, we are going to be talking to the interim executive director of the Youth Justice and Education Center. This all has to do with juvenile detention. Before the sheriff's office actually was sort of in control of that, but they're no longer. It has been taken over by Shelby County government and the Corrections Center. They're doing really good things with this program. And I really, when I read about it, I was like, yeah, this is something that people need to hear about. And we're not throwing away our young people. We're actually putting them in school, putting them in classes. We're teaching them how to be productive young folks. Once they get out, they may have a better direction to go into. So we appreciate that. And we'll talk with their executive director a little bit later on. And as we started to talk about last week, and I want to talk about it again because it's serious. This time of year, for so many people, our thoughts turn to tragic events in our life, the losses that we experience in our life. This time of year, the holiday season hits folks hard, really hard, in a lot of instances. And we're going to be talking again tonight to counselor and therapist Alicia Denton. She'll be joining me in the second half hour of the show because there are tips and there are things that we can do to try to help to be able to better cope and get through this holiday season. You know, you look around, it's like family and friends and people gathering and laughing and joking and having a good time, but there's an empty seat at the table. And that hits hard for a lot of folks. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and hopefully we'll give you something to look forward to when you're dealing with a holiday situation like this that will make you feel a little bit better. So there you go. That's a rundown of the big broadcast tonight. That sounds good? I think so. Sit back, relax, get comfortable, and listen in between now and 7 o'clock. Those of you who are still here and functioning have made another trip around the sun. And we like to celebrate you. We like to celebrate anybody who makes another year around the sun. It becomes more and more difficult every year, but we do that by the shout out. And we like to shout you out, make you feel special, and we hope you had a wonderful day in the process. But I can't do any of that until I say, hit it, Brent. Happy birthday, going out to the following folks. Ford Canale, celebrating his birthday today. Mithone Washington celebrating. Happy birthday to Allie Tate, to Sheila Phillips, to Kimberly Davis. Happy birthday to Veronica Miller, Evelyn Henderson, Rick Rout, former Shelby County mayor, and Lucy Afton Glasper. Now, I'm looking to my right, and I don't see Lola getting up. No birthdays from Lola today. But we extend you warm wishes. We hope that this day has been filled with love and laughter. And from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, happy birthday to each and every one of you. We hope to be here next year for your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Brent. So, some news and notes today. Couple of things that I think you probably know about, but if you don't know about, you might want to prepare for. There will be a 4% increase in your MLGW bill starting in January. The council put all of this in effect a couple, 3 years ago. So it was a 4% increase early this year in January. There's a 4.5% increase 4% increase next year, top of the year, January, and there will be another 4% increase in 2027. So just prepare for all of that. My good friend Jay Boyd is in the studio checking us out, man. Good to see you, my friend. Absolutely, bro. Be careful out there. Be safe. Let me see here. Over the weekend, the St. Jude Marathon was run here in the city. Over 22,000 runners participated in this fundraising event for St. Jude. And it looks like a great time was had by all, and I'm sure St. Jude deservedly raised quite a bit of money. We heard, there's a story in the paper today, I don't know if you've heard it or seen it on the news, where we talked about the fact that with this Memphis Safe Task Force, a lot of people have been arrested, right? Thousands of people have been arrested The jail is overpopulated. Big surprise there. So much so that they can't get all these folks inside the jail building. They have to house them outside in the breezeway where they bring them in. Folks are actually housed out there because there's no room anywhere. They talked to some inmates, or some inmates were speaking about how deplorable the conditions are, how unsanitary the conditions are. And when you hear a word like inhumane coming from some of those folks in there, that they feel like they're being treated in a very inhumane way, that should raise red flags for everybody. Now, the population in the jail, generally speaking, around 2,600, I think, is capacity. Well, they're well over that right about now. And again, a jail that's falling down, that's dilapidated, that is undermanned in terms of folks working there and everything else. And then you have all of this going on. You can't get rid of prisoners who have been there longer than they should be and ship them out. So you have them stacked on top of stacked on top of stacked. And when I heard the word inhumane, it really hurt my heart today. Something has to be done about this. Many of you have probably heard Mayor Lee Harris, who was in this studio about a month or so ago, said that he didn't think that Sheriff Bonner was doing a very good job in that jail, and he thinks that he should leave office now. Well, Mayor Harris is lame duck. His term is over next year. Sheriff Bonner is lame duck. His term is over next year. So I'm not quite sure about all of that. But this has become a public beef. And then Sheriff Bonner came out and said, well, the mayor, and he wrote this in an open letter that everybody had a chance to see in the public, in the media, the whole 9 yards, said that in 7.5 years since Lee Harris has been the mayor, he has not once taken a trip to the jail. He's not once walked in the jail, seen the jail, or anything else. Now, if you want to parse this a bit, the jail falls under the Shelby County Sheriff. The corrections center falls under Shelby County government, which is Lee Harris. And he said that he had never called once. Sheriff Bonner said Mayor Harris has never called once to find out. He knows we need funding. He knows we need a new jail. He knows the conditions are bad. And yet not one time has he paid any attention to what we're doing. These type of public beefs, ladies and gentlemen, don't do anything but frustrate people. Frustrate all of us, as a matter of fact. When you hear these things, coming from elected public officials, it kind of dims your confidence in the work that is being done on a daily basis. I.e., I said that to say, you know what, we need to keep all of that stuff between ourselves. The public doesn't need to digest all of this. We have our own thoughts and our own processes about things that are going on. But these public beefs, people are watching and people are paying attention. And I'm thinking right now of young folks who are paying attention to these kind of conversations that are having that are not very useful. So, we need to take that, and besides, when you put the words out, you can't stuff them back in. It's over at that particular point. So we need to get back to what? Being civil with one another. Civility, respect, and things like that has sort of gone out the window. But we need to kind of reflect on that, and we need to work on that. And finally, congratulations to Charlie Huff. He is the new Memphis football coach, and he was selected pretty quickly. And so we congratulate Charlie Huff, and we wish him nothing but the best here at the University of Memphis. Let's take a break, and when we come back, let's get into it, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Quick one. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
The podcast, a new name for the same great show.
Support for WYXR comes from the Orpheum Theater, presenting Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, December 16th through the 21st. You can spend the holidays with the Orpheum Theater and experience the Dr. Seuss holiday classic come to life on stage. For more information, visit orpheum-memphis.com.
What does being a great mentor look like? Someone who shows up, listens, and is consistent. You don't have to be perfect to be the perfect mentor to a young person. To learn how you can make a difference and join the mentoring movement, visit grizzliesfoundation.org.
Support for WYXR and the 2025 Raised by Sound Festival comes from Old Dominick Distillery, the spirit of Memphis, distilled and crafted downtown. You can learn more about Old Dominick whiskey and the distillery at olddominick.com.
Whether it's a clunker or a classic, your car can keep Memphis grooving. Free pickup, tax deductible, and all for WYXR. Donate your vehicle at cars.wyxr.org.
Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
Support for WYXR comes from Ting Internet and Mobile. Ting Internet delivers 2 gig fiber for video calls, gaming, and streaming WYXR. You can check your address or learn more at ting.com/Memphis.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you, and glad that you are with us this evening. And I'm glad my first guests are here. You know, we heard a very disturbing statistic just a couple of days ago, and it had to do with the recidivism rate in our jails, which was stunning to me. I have the folks with me this evening who are part and parcel responsible for putting these statistics out and keeping us informed. Leslie Taylor and Ron Walker join me now from Memphis Crime Beat. Boy, these folks, let me tell you something. I had them on when they first started this thing, and now I think everybody's starting to see what they're doing and understanding it. Leslie and Ron, it is great to have you on the show tonight.
Hey, thanks, Chip. And yes, you've been with us from the very beginning, and we sure do appreciate it.
So listen, let's jump into this, because for people who don't know, you guys do some tremendous tracking in these courtrooms, and I mean you're getting the respect from the DA and a lot of other folks who are paying attention to you all paying attention to what is happening in these courts and gathering these statistics. Now, in terms of the recidivism rate. Some of the numbers that you all put out were staggering. Tell us a little bit about that, Leslie.
Well, first I have to say we didn't put those numbers out. We published them, but They're actually put out by the sheriff's office, and I give them a lot of credit for publishing those reports. Every month they would publish a jail report card.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that before now. So, but you guys put them out, and I think that's how I heard about it. On TV and everything else. But in terms of the numbers, when you all saw those numbers, what was your thought?
I was stunned. The numbers basically said that 78% of the people in jail have been in jail at least once before. 47% of the average daily population in the Memphis jail has been in jail 6 or more times.
6 or more times, 47%.
Correct.
Okay. And you've also shown that there are folks who have been in there longer than that, or as many times, more times than that, have you not?
Well, on the last time we talked, we were talking about the 500 days report, which is people that have been in jail for more than 500 days. The last time I checked that report, there were over 700 people on that list.
There are, was I right, Ron, in saying that there are people that have been incarcerated up to 6, 7, even 8 times that report showed?
That's correct. It's just staggering the number of people that been in jail that many times, it just was stunning to both of us.
This says a lot, and I don't think much of it is good. Leslie, you just mentioned that there were like 700 people that have been in jail 500 days or longer. Did I get that correct?
That's correct.
And your thoughts in reference to seeing that?
Well, it's what we keep pushing for, which is we need our justice system to be more effective and efficient. That recidivism rate tells you that it's not doing one of two things: deterring crime and or rehabilitating people.
So having said that, and I'll ask you both, Ron, we have this, Memphis Safe Task Force here that's arresting people left and right, like adding thousands more to the rolls here. And this can't be even what it's supposed to be, and I still don't know what it's supposed to be, but in terms of all of this, in terms of the sheer numbers, how can we catch up? How can we do anything to move forward when you have a large number on top of large number on top of even a larger number in terms of our criminal court system?
That was another staggering number. The increase in the number of people being processed into jail increased. It was over 30% in October from prior months, but also the number that were released was about the same. So in other words, they're keeping the status quo. They're keeping the population about the same, but as many people coming in, somehow the others are getting released, be it on bond or moved to other facilities. We don't have the data for that.
That's a very interesting thing to say. And I mentioned, Leslie, at the top of the show, that because of the overcrowding at the Shelby County Jail, and we all know about the deterioration in the condition of the jail and a lot of other things, and we're seeing all these added people coming in, some of the prisoners, I guess, had some very disturbing comments to make about conditions inside that jail, or the breezeway, which is where they're keeping them now because they can't keep them in the jail. But they used one of the words that they use, and I mentioned at the top of the show, was inhumane. A lot of them feel like they are being treated with inhumane treatment. Medical situations, the guards aren't treating them very well. There are a lot of folks who are sick, getting sicker, inmates stripped naked. When you hear things like that, and you're an advocate for the justice system around here, how does that make you feel?
Terrible. Our conditions in the jail, I'm sure, are not good. We're processing a lot more people through the system now with the additional arrests, which we needed to make. We're clearing arrest warrants that have been outstanding, sometimes for years, and that's important work to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's taking longer to book people than it ever has. So I think all in all, we really need to be working smarter. We need to identify how we can be more efficient. We need to work more quickly to process these people because it's fair to everybody.
I'm just wondering. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ron. Were you going to say something? Go ahead.
Earlier in the year, it was taking about, based on that report, earlier in the year, it was taking about 40 hours to process the inmates into the jail. 40 hours. In October, that jumped to over 130 hours. So 3 times increase in just getting them processed.
Which is why they're sitting in that waiting room like you're hearing, Chip.
Yeah, that's insane in and of itself. Leslie, since you all started this Memphis Crime Beat and really becoming the eyes and ears of so many of us in these courtrooms and watching the process ensue, what have you learned? I'm curious to find out, since your inception to where we are now, what have you seen? What have you learned in all this?
I call this whole thing the infinite onion.
Okay.
Every
Explain
time
that.
you peel back a layer, there's another thing. It's very complicated. It's not black and white. But I think there's a lot of opportunity in the low-hanging fruit to make some big improvements if we focus on that.
So obviously, having said what you just said, we need to focus on that. I think people are saying, and I think I heard, when I read something in reference to all of this, and especially the recidivism rate, even DA Mulroy, agrees that something else needs to be done. It's just that we just keep talking about the same thing over and over again. In the meantime, we're still arresting folks and building and building and building on this level that is almost going to be impossible to get down. Ron, I'll ask you the same question. What have you learned? What has been eye-opening for you since you all started the Memphis Crime Beat?
Once I got involved just over a year ago, I was shocked at the lack of data. I came from the corporate world. Data is readily available and you could analyze things. The data is hard to get in this process. We're struggling to get it. And as we say, you can't manage it if you can't measure it. So we're trying to get our hands around that so we can come up with what we call the life of a crime. We can measure we can quantify it.
Yeah, and we've talked about that in the past about the data, getting the data, in reference to coming up with numbers that make sense. Leslie, you sort of, and you mentioned that many times in the past about getting the data is extraordinarily impossible. But because of the work that you're doing and because of the folks that are starting to pay attention, is it becoming a little easier?
I think people are hearing us, which is great.
Yes. Yeah.
The General Sessions Court recently launched a dashboard, which is public facing, and it has pretty basic information on it right now. But they are asking the public for what additional information they would like to see. And so our hope is that they're going to add to that going forward. And if they do, that will be a really useful tool for transparency and accountability.
Yeah, those are two words that we don't hear as often as we need to hear them. And I thank God for you. But when I saw this, I thought to myself, I said there are reasons for everything. And the reason that I think that these conversations are important is to, again, be transparent and provide information that people may not know, but because of the work that you two do and your organization does, it's becoming a little bit clearer. And I'm sure, and I'll ask you both a final question here, your hopes for 2026 in all of this. What are your hopes? Leslie, I'll start with you.
Well, I want to add, it's people like you that help us get the word out, Chip, and we really appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
What do we hope for next year? We want more data. We'd like to be able to measure more. We would love it if our community would agree on some performance metrics, identify the things that are most important, and then really take charge in improving those metrics.
People involved really matter. Ron, what about you?
What we say is what happens after a crime is just as important as the crime itself in terms of trying to solve the problem. Crime has dropped dramatically with the task force and MPD efforts, and now we're focused on what happens after that. As Leslie said, if we get the data, we can pinpoint more efficiencies that need to be made and hopefully solve some of these problems.
Leslie Taylor, Ron Walker from the Memphis Crime Beat. Look, you guys keep doing what you're doing because it's starting to make a difference and people are paying attention. You're right. When you say that folks need to be involved and they need to understand what the process is and they need to be involved in changing the process. Thank you both for taking the time to be on the show tonight. I wish you both happy holidays and a very happy and prosperous 2026.
Thanks, Chip. Cindy, we're always happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you both very, very much. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's a bird's eye view. And you need to have people who are in the fight and can actually see what is going on without somebody trying to tell you what's going on who doesn't know what they're talking about. So we really thank Leslie Taylor and Ron Walker for being on the show. Let's take another break. And when we come back, we are going to shift gears and talk about the juvenile population and some of our young folks who may be headed down the wrong road, but an organization and a group and a center is trying to change that perspective as well. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR and the 2025 Stereo Sessions comes from Independent Bank, serving Memphis, its businesses, and the greater community. You can find more information on how iBank can help you navigate your financial journey and hear client stories at i-bankonline.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this chilly Monday evening. Chip with you. Glad to have you with us. I don't know how many of you have heard of the Youth Justice and Education Center dealing with our young folks in the juvenile justice system. This was actually overseen at one point by the Shelby County Sheriff's Office. They said that they couldn't do it anymore, and it is now in the hands of Shelby County government under the Division of Corrections. Well, they're really doing great things with these young folks, and just because you have moved down a wrong road, that doesn't mean you can continue down that road, because there are folks here that are going to help you maintain a new vision for yourself. Please welcome to the show the interim executive director of the Youth Justice and Education Center. He is Mr. Reese Walker. And Reese, it's great to see you, man. Welcome to Real Talk Memphis.
Thank you, Chip. Thank you for having me tonight.
Absolutely that. So, it's almost like you guys are a bit of a hidden secret, but they're starting to come out now in reference to this center. But for folks who don't know, tell us about the Youth Justice and Education Center, its focus, and its function.
The Shelby County Youth Justice and Education Center is under the mayor's office purview, and we fall under the Division of Corrections. It is a 146-bed unit that houses detainees, male and female, under the age of 18 here.
Okay.
Our mission here is to empower the youth, restoring hope, and building futures.
Well, that's a pretty nice, concise thing that you just said there. So how do we do that? You sort of changed. You guys have changed the parameter of how things were, kind of to a new way of doing things. Now, you've been the interim executive director now for a few months, correct?
Correct.
So when you were appointed to this position, or when you came to it, what were some of the things you wanted to see changed and you wanted to implement in this new path forward, so you said?
So some of the things that we wanted to do some enhancements. We wanted to ensure that the residents are treated with dignity and respect.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the things that we provided for as the enhancement, we changed the clothing attire. We did away with the prison grade type clothing. Our young people now wearing polo shirts. They wear khaki pants. In the evening, they have on loungewear. Because you wear your polo clothes, the shirts and those dicky pants. In the morning time, they go to school. We have a Memphis Shelby County school here, Hope Academy. So once they get out of school, that school is from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
And then they come back to their housing units, their dormitories, and we start our evening activities. Our evening activities entails field call, religious activities, gym call, outdoor recreation when the weather is permitting. We are so proud we have just reinstituted social visitation.
Oh, that means
whereas our residents, they have 2 opportunities to visit. They have a certain dorms that visit on Tuesday. They visit again on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a set of dorms that visit on Thursday, and they will visit again on Sunday. One of the things that we're so proud that we reinstituted was transportation from here at the detention center on Old Getwell Road to 616 Adams. because there are some court cases that are heard there. So we started the transportation back up to get those kids there and make sure that they're present for their hearings. We also going to have other various courses and classes because we wanted to change and make a holistic approach.
Right.
We can't do what we do by ourselves, so we have partnered with some great collaborators in our community that's going to help us with our vision and our mission.
It sounds as if you are really trying to, and through work and deed, trying to let these young folks know that, you know what, we make mistakes. But there's also a redemptive aspect of life that we want to make you feel. And I'm listening to you talk about even the wearing apparel. When you have someone who dresses, and the khakis and the polo, you don't feel like where you are. You know where you are, but then you're in school. It's like you're in regular school, like you're outside of that system, and you're in a regular school, and you're teaching them that. I was really interested in what you were saying about the social interaction. How important is that? That has got to be really one of the bigger things in terms of a positive. Yes.
Yes. Matter of fact, we believe in family engagement. During our social contact visits, we encourage the families to engage, embrace their loved one once they come into the visitation area. They are able to play table games, to interact with their loved one. They are able to play checkers, spades, Uno. We have the Connect Four that they can engage with. We have the coin toss. And just seeing those families interact with their loved ones, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because we are, you want that human touch, and most importantly, you want that family touch.
Yeah.
And we are committed here at the Division of Corrections to foster personal growth, accountability, and positive change. That's one thing we're to.
We often hear a lot about the path that some young people take, and in many instances, those aren't flattering things to say and to hear, and it puts them in a particular box. But what you're saying is, you know what, we make mistakes, like as I said earlier, but this is an opportunity for you to get this thing right. And I think that it also sounds like you do a lot of conversing with these young folks. Talking to young people or having young people talk with young people can get a whole lot of things done. And I'm a big proponent of don't talk at a young person, talk to a young person. Then you can understand what they are dealing with. Am I correct in that?
You're absolutely correct. I'm intentional. And my leadership team, we're intentional about meeting the young residents. I have a fireside chat with the residents. I see them in the hallway as they're passing throughout the building. If they're going to court, if they're going into school at Hope Academy, or I go down into the dorm. Captain Morrow, she serves on my leadership team. We're intentional by sitting down and asking them, what's going on? Mm-hmm. What can we do? What can we improve? And we just meet them where they are. And we communicate and we move forward. Because one thing we always remind our residents, we got to treat you with dignity and respect. And we did away with solitary confinement, locking the kids in their rooms for X amount of hours. We don't do that. We have a positive behavior management system where they are able to accumulate points for their positive behavior. Is broken down into 5 different categories, and they are able to assess those points. And then at the end of the week, we reward them for that growth and being in compliance with the facility rules.
See, this is the type of program that we don't hear enough about, that we need to hear more about, of the works that you're doing with these young people each and every day. That we treat them with dignity and respect. And I think that, people may hear those words, but they don't really understand what that means, especially to a young person who's trying to, I guess, figure it out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in all of this. And go ahead.
I share my personal story with them, and I told them I wasn't always the person that did things right. And I share my personal stories, and they listen with a fine. They just listen and say, Mr. Walker, I can be just like you if I get on the right track. And I tell them, yes, you can. And we give them that hope that, yeah, you're here right this moment, but this is not always going to be, because you're going back into our community. We want you to go back in a much better way, in a positive way.
Well, I'm really I was impressed when I saw this with this story, and as I said before, I wanted to have you on the show because I'm all about the positive, and I'm all about we need to look after each other, and we need to be able to support and take care of and encourage each other. And you have you said community partnerships, and before you go, I want a little bit on that. You can't do what you do on a daily basis without the community members being involved, being supportive, being encouraging, and doing whatever they can to help you. Am I correct?
That is absolutely correct. I never forget it when I just got this appointment. My pastor, Bishop Milton R. Hawkins at Temple Deliverance, he immediately said, Reese, what can we do? We have Life Church. We have Lord's Tabernacle Church. You name it, all across the spectrum. People are answering the clarion call. We have volunteers who are community partners who work with our adults. They have expressed their interest to partner with us to help us with our youth, because we know that our residents is someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's niece, someone's nephew, someone's grandson, granddaughter, etc. And we want them to be a much better individual.
Kudos to you, Mr. Reese Walker, the interim executive director of the Youth Justice and Education Center, and all of those who are helping you with this mission, because what you're doing to me is a mission-based project, and it's going to yield great benefits. Congratulations and continued success. And I look to have you back down the road to give us some progress reports. I really appreciate your time tonight, though.
Just invite me back. We'll be ready to roll.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
You too. Reese Walker, ladies and gentlemen, the interim executive director of the Youth Justice and Education Center. If you want to be encouraged, that's the kind of thing that you need to hear, and you need to see, and you need to know more about. And I'm really happy that it worked out that he could join me this evening. Let's take one final break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about emotion. And how we get through a difficult emotional time for so many of us during this time of year. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. We're not done yet.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Whether it's a clunker or a classic, your car can keep Memphis grooving. Free pickup, tax deductible, and all for WYXR. Donate your vehicle at cars.wyxr.org.
Support for WYXR comes from Your Weight Matters Memphis. The Obesity Action Coalition will host an event on December 6th at the Hilton Memphis from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to hear from leading experts in weight management, nutrition, and mental health. Mayor Paul Young will give opening remarks, and the city of Memphis has proclaimed the day as Your Weight Matters Memphis Day. This event is open to the public and all are welcome. More information can be found at yourweightmatters.com/Memphis.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this chilly Monday evening. Chip with you And, as I stated earlier, this is a tough time emotionally for so many people out there because of loss. And we feel the sense of loss more, I think, during the holiday season than particularly any other time. And I wanted to talk about this and give us some things to think about and help us maybe try to navigate through the holiday season. And I've invited my friend back. Alicia Denton is a therapist. She's a counselor. And if anybody knows about what this is all about, she does, and I'm very happy to have her on the show. She's sitting back with glasses on, laid back, cool. Hey, Alicia, good to see you. How you doing?
Skip. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking some time. Okay, so you know better than anyone because of the work that you do how challenging and difficult this particular time of year is, and because we talk about obviously the loss of a family member, a friend, or a colleague, but somebody brought it to my attention too. If you want to put this in a basket, suicide is a great part of this as well. So there's a lot of factors that go into the way we feel emotionally this time of year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of factors, and the holidays just seem to magnify it, more common than people realize. And grief doesn't follow a holiday schedule. It shows up when it shows up, Chip.
Yeah, that right there, that's very important. Grief. And because that's what we feel, grief, and it's not like you said, it's not on the calendar, it's not a holiday. It is something that we feel, and it is immediate, and sometimes it could be unexpected in a lot of situations. So, how do you go about talking to individuals about this and the difficulty a lot of folks face this time of year?
Yes, there's a couple of ways. One thing is, look, some people get mixed up grief and depression and put them together. So grief is about losing someone, and depression is about losing yourself, your sense of self. So kind of doing some psychoeducation with the individual, along with letting them know that the most powerful thing we offer is being present, not perfection. And this is something you don't have to go through alone. Your feeling makes sense because loss changes us. And depression can make everything feel heavy.
Yeah. You're kind of cutting in and out. I don't know if it's, I can hear you, but it's like you're like every other word. I don't know if it's is it closer or whatever it is, but I want to make sure that we hear everything that you're saying. So I'm trying to limit.
Move on in.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know, something. I don't know. It could be a signal. But yeah, what you said is very important. And I think that word that you used a minute ago, present, being present, that is really, really important. Why is that such an important component?
Being present?
Yes.
I think being present is important because, again, with depression and grief comes isolation.
Okay.
And when we have isolation, feeds depression, connection interrupts it, if that makes sense.
It does. It sort of kind of temporarily takes you away from that grief and depression that you're feeling. There are some tips that you have that maybe can help folks who are dealing with that. Talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I like what I used to like the top 10 coping strategy. And something I always is one coping strategy doesn't fit all, but we can take some of these and whatever the individual likes, we maximize on those. So one of the things, coping strategies is what I call creating a daily anchor routine. And what I mean by that, small steps matter in dealing with grief and depression. So we want to start small, a small 3-part routine. For example, light, movement, and nourishment. And when I say, because sometimes when people get depressed, we want to close the blind. We don't want to get out of the bed.
Yeah, I got you. Not
take a shower. So we want to open the blinds. Movement, 10-minute walk. Nourishment, drinking water regularly. As I mentioned before, limiting isolation. Have at least one daily human connection if possible, whether that's by call, text, or brief social visit. Giving grief a scheduled space, that's important. Setting aside at least 10 to 15 minutes to feel, to cry, to journal, pray, or reflect. This prevents what I call emotional buildup.
Mm-hmm.
And practicing those small wins instead of big goals, that's huge, because depression makes tasks feel very heavy. So choosing tiny goals. I'm going to shower, I'm going to fold 3 items, I'm going to walk 100 steps. Another one is big, and especially for someone that recently lost a loved one, preparing for grief first. These are those sudden emotional waves, and they're normal, but they can be like an emotional sneak attack.
Okay.
They just come out of nowhere.
Okay.
So planning a response like stepping away. For example, I just had one recently who was in the store and there was holiday music, and her mother's favorite song, who passed away, came on.
Yeah.
So we came up with her safe exit strategy. So she said, okay, I'm going to walk away, step away,
Yeah.
and then go into another store for a while. So that's one way. Deep breathing, calling someone. And this sounds simple, but it's cold water, running cold water on your hands, or having an ice cube. Take that ice cube, put it in the palm of your hand, hold it down, and that helps to calm a person down, or kind of gets you distracted from that grief and that depression for a while.
Yeah, these are, as you say, these are small steps, and as we're listening to that, it kind of just they make sense. Some of the things that you're saying, make sense for people to deal with that in certain circumstances, and I think the distraction of it is good, but it's okay. Maybe I should ask this. It's okay to think about those that we've lost, to think about who they were, what they were to you, what they meant to you, even though they're gone. And I'm a firm believer. I lost my mother in 2014. That she's my angel. That she's always looking down on me. So I always feel, at least I make myself feel like there is a connection still.
Yeah, and we definitely don't want to remove our loved ones from anything, but there's some that create new traditions or modify old ones, or, for example, cooking their favorite dish. I have some clients that I work with that every holiday that helps them when they cook their mom's favorite dish for the holidays. So incorporating those things, lighting a candle in honor of that loved one. Those are all good things as well.
Yeah.
Another thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is self-talk shift. This happens a lot. What I mean by that is shifting the talk from "I should be over this" to "I'm doing the best I can with what I'm carrying." I think that's important.
It's okay to say, yeah, I'm struggling, but I'm doing the best I can. That's okay to say, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's okay to say.
Yeah.
And the last, number 10, of course, if needed, especially when daily tasks become overwhelming, or we're using unhealthy coping strategies or suicidal ideation, then that's when we want to seek out that professional support, seek out therapy. Sometimes, if wanted, medication, maybe, but that's for the doctor to decide. But that's something we definitely incorporate as well.
So there are options available to an individual, even up to getting a prescription from a doctor if they feel like it's needed, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There are options. Whether it's the primary care doctor, whether it's a psych provider, what we call it. So yeah, there are medications specifically for depression, because there's some significant impairment that needs modifying, and those medications, antidepressants, assist with that.
Alicia Denton, ladies and gentlemen, counselor, therapist, and one who knows what she's talking about in reference to all of this. It's tough for a lot of folks during this time of year, and I hope that you heard some tips that might be able to help you through your journey. Alicia, thank you for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate it, and I wish you and yours a very happy holiday season and a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2026. And yeah, I'll have you back in 2026 as well.
I look forward to it. Thank you. Happy holidays to you and yours as well.
Thank you, Alicia. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps up the show this evening. I hope we got some good information out there, and we hope that you were able to take it. We're a few minutes away from Event Horizon with Bryn, but I was picking at Lola. She is a DJ extraordinaire all over this city. She does gigs everywhere in this city. And, I was trying to play, Pop or whoever, I tell them that, sometimes I'm concerned about her because she's moving so fast and she's doing so many things. I said, get some rest. She says, I'm getting a little rest. But yeah, she's gearing up for like Christmas and New Year. So trust me, you'll see her somewhere in the city. And to Bryn, you have another exciting episode of Event Horizon this evening. Have you thought about the playlist, my friend? Last week, by the way, you were playing some pretty stout stuff. I heard some R&B in there. I was like, no,
yes, sir.
I'm like, oh, no, he didn't. Wait a minute. What's happening here? What do you got for us tonight?
I guess I'm getting back into cutting it up into halves. So I've been playing some hip-hop in the first half of the shows.
Yeah.
And switching it up. I think tonight there'll be some metal in the second half. I'm enjoying playing some stuff that I can recommend to the family members. So that might been some of the stuff you've heard. I had a fun time last week though, so go check it out in the archives.
Yeah, it was a good show. When you get me to listen, you got something going on out there, man, with all of this. But I think I've asked you this before, but I'll ask you again before we get off. Sure. Is there a particular brand of music, a favorite type of music that kind of touches you in a personal way?
I would say hip hop does that for me. I know I play a lot of stuff and jump around a lot, but I grew up on in the internet age. But I grew up on hip hop, and a lot of the stuff that I gravitate to is people talking about struggles, or people talking about like Pimp C or Bun B. Talking about social commentary a little bit, a little balance to it or whatever.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Brenda will be up in about a minute or so with another fresh Event Horizon, and as he plays us out, we're counting down. I think maybe one show, maybe two shows left in this year for us here at the Real Talk Memphis. But this has been a great show tonight. We really appreciate you, as always, for watching and supporting the show. And listen, if you hear something or somebody says something that you find relevant to you, and tell them we're doing it every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. Tell them to go. And so in other words, I'm saying go out and tell somebody. So for all of us at Real Talk Memphis, for lovely Lola, she's putting on her coat. See her coat? There she is back there as we're about to walk out of here. And my man, Bryn Butler, with another fresh edition of Event Horizon. We really enjoy being here. And we really enjoy having you to be a part of what we do each and every week. So from all of us at Real Talk Memphis, be safe, be careful, watch out for yourself, and watch out for other folks because they may not be watching out for you. Do something nice for someone. You may be surprised how good it will make you feel. So for all of us, I'm Chip, and we are out. See you soon.